Hi Spirit Fam, welcome to the channel. Today I have a pick a card on what you need to know about your soul journey. So if you are coming back to the channel, thank you so much for being here. We truly appreciate each and every single one of you. If you are new to the channel, welcome to Eileen Into Spirit. My name is Eileen Rouse. I am a psychic intuitive, a spiritual coach, a sound healing practitioner, and a master professional clearer. I want to remind everyone that this is going to be a general reading. So that means that it is not going to resonate with every single person out in the collective. I ask that you take with you what resonates and leave the rest behind. So without further ado, Spirit Fam, let's go ahead and dive right into your pick a card so that you can choose the pile that you are most drawn to. Okay, Spirit Fam. In front of you, there are 4 piles for you to choose from for this wonderful pick a card that we are going to dive right into today. Pile 1, this is going to be pile 2, this is going to be pile 3, and this is going to be pile 4. Now, what I would like for you to do is truly close your eyes and just allow your inner guidance to sort of lead you towards the deck or the pile that is speaking to you. Now, these are 4 different tarot decks. So I want you to really let your intuition guide you towards the deck that you are being drawn to. So once again, this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. And with that, let's go ahead and dive right in, Spirit Family. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your pick a card on what you need to know about your soul journey. So we're going to go ahead and move your tarot cards out of the way. And we are going to start with your oracle cards, and then we will dive into the tarot deck that you have specifically chosen. So right off the bat, we have blame as your first card here, pile 1. Now, I sort of feel that where you are in your spiritual journey, I feel that there might be either some situations or some experiences here where there's a lot of blame going on. Now, whether that is you blaming others for your well-being or for not being able to actually take care of yourself, or whether others are blaming you. Now, if there is a lot of the blame game going on here, pile 1, ultimately what I want you to understand is that this card is really referencing you to accept responsibility for your own well-being. So the actual affirmation with this card is, I accept responsibility for my well-being. What this actually means here, pile 1, is that you can no longer, what Spirit wants you to know is that you can no longer blame others for your current situations or the experiences that you are encountering. And the reason for that is because you have to take ownership and responsibility for making the choices and the decisions that you do in your everyday life. So that means that when you are actually triggered by someone, or when you are experiencing discomfort with someone, or there's a disagreement, or there's discord, whatever it is, it really takes courage and bravery to really examine it from your own perspective and really listen inwardly to what your intuition is ultimately telling you about the situation or the experience. We have to sort of come to an understanding here, pile 1, that it is not anyone else's responsibility for us to take care of ourselves. We have to learn to take care of ourselves. And if that means that we have to set boundaries, if that means that we have to cut certain things out of our life because we know that it's not good for our mental health, it's not good for our physical health or our emotional health, then those are the things that we ultimately need to let go of. And I feel that right now in your spiritual journey, you are actually going through a lot of experiences or situations that you are having to be very introspective. You are having to really look at where you're needing to change things in order to take accountability for your own actions and for the choices that you have made. Okay, your next card here is going to be soul power. And I love this because what this is saying is that when we learn to take responsibility for our own choices, when we are accountable for our own actions, that's ultimately us taking our power back. Now, what it says here with soul power is always remember, you're a soul that comes with a body, not a body that comes with a soul. Your soul is your true essence, and you have an unlimited supply of soul power at your command whenever you need it. I absolutely love this, Pile One, because this is ultimately wanting you to remember that the choices that you make ultimately have a cause and effect in your everyday experiences. And in this particular situation, you have to remind yourself that you are far more than just your body. So when it comes to your well-being, this is about you taking accountability for well-being in all areas of your life, especially your soul. This is what your soul journey is all about right now. So whether that means that you need to start, exercising a little bit more, or you need to be a little bit more mindful of what you're actually ingesting. If this could be, I'm picking up a lot of things here, Pile One, so it could be that this is just for just various people within the collective. So this could totally be that you are, some of you are, smoking, or some of you are drinking alcohol, and these are things that you're sort of getting hits from your intuition that these are things that you ultimately need to let go of. And understand that it is a choice. You have a choice every single day with every single decision that you make as to what you are actually doing or experiencing in your everyday experience. Okay, so next up we have message in a bottle and happy, happy. Now this is very interesting here, Pile One, because I feel that ultimately message in a bottle, what it's really saying is that it is your intuition, your guides, your spirit team trying to connect with you on a much deeper level to provide you the guidance or the wisdom. It's basically communication, right? They are communicating with you, whether that's through signs, but they are basically pointing you in the direction of your highest good. Notice how in this photo, in this picture here, on this oracle card, how the bottle is starting to point up and how there is a pelican on this bottle. Now, a pelican is a winged creature that ultimately goes up into the higher realms, right? And so this is about pointing you in the direction of your true north. I really want to point that out. Now, inside this bottle, there is a telephone that looks like it is actually submerged in water. And so water truly represents our emotions. So really take into account that maybe there are some things, something going on in your spiritual journey, in your soul journey right now, that is causing a lot of emotional upheaval, right? And so because you're so wrapped up in it emotionally, you cannot see the bigger picture. You can't see or have a better, clearer understanding of what is actually going on, or even being able to hear or listen to the message. And so your team is really wanting you to know that when you ask for particular messages, they are sending them to you. And it's important for you to believe that your spirit team is going to be sending you these messages, because when you believe that you're going to be receiving these messages is when you will actually notice them. You will actually receive them. And it's really about allowing yourself to become a lot more fluent in understanding what the messages are. It's being connected to that divine source. It's being more in alignment with who you are and how you are connected to divine source. Now, happy is one of those cards that really talks about what are the things that you are doing in your everyday life that bring you joy, that ultimately make you feel completely and utterly blissful and happy. I feel that these are the things that you need to primarily focus on. This is all about being in alignment with your soul. And in order for you to really be in alignment, you have to start doing things that make you ultimately happy. And it's really examining, are you really doing things that are bringing you joy? Or are you preventing yourself from experiencing the bliss or the joy, right? It's really about a sense of fulfillment. Are you allowing yourself to be fulfilled in your everyday life? Are the things or the choices that you are making in your everyday life bringing you fulfillment? Because if they're not, then those are the things that ultimately need to change. Now, let's go ahead and dive right into your tarot here. Now we are going to shuffle the cards and then we are going to draw 5 cards. Now, okay, so our first card is the 3 of Cups. We then have the 2 of Pentacles, the Star card, the Moon, and the 7 of Wands. Okay, pile 1. What this is saying here, now we're going to start at the center because I always like starting at the center, which is going to be the Star card. Now the Star card represents our fate. It represents, being called, understanding that there is happiness available to us, but we have to be willing to really reach for it. We have to be willing to really dig for it, right? It also represents healing. That which we give to others, we can also give to ourselves. It's kind of one of those things here with you, pile 1, in your soul journey, is that I feel that you don't really balance things out very well here with the 2 of Pentacles. I feel like you're constantly trying really hard to balance it in the aspect of others. So you're always putting yourself last. And that always makes you feel like you're working extremely hard and you feel as if you're not getting the celebration or you're not getting the appreciation that you ultimately feel that you deserve. But what I want to ask you is, are you really watering your seeds yourself? Are you watering? Are you nurturing? Are you caring for? Are you giving to yourself here, pile 1? Because when we start with the Star card, it's really about us, making sure that we ultimately give to ourselves in a way that is meaningful and hopeful and healing in a lot of ways. And we have to be willing to do our own work, okay? The 3 of Cups here is really about celebrating wins, celebrating successes, and really creating a sense of camaraderie with other individuals. But I feel like you celebrate other individuals and you try to juggle so many different things, but I feel like what you are juggling is not something that is fulfilling. It's not fulfilling your cup, if that makes sense, pile 1. So it's almost like that which you are it's almost like you're taking all of this emotion that you feel for other people and you're giving it to other people, but you're not filling your cup. It's almost as if you're trying really hard to use the same stuff that other people have done to fill your own cup, and it's not as fulfilling or as satisfying. And so this leaves you in a state of confusion. And it leaves you in a state of, what am I doing wrong, right? Like the moon is all about the secrets. It's the things that are hidden from us. And here's the thing. The moon is really about us delving deep into our shadow. And it's really about exploring the depths of ourselves and what we feel we ultimately need to see. Because I feel like you're not really seeing what needs to be seen here, Pile One. It's almost like you're too afraid to go down that path into that deep exploration of yourself, because I feel for you, this story makes much more sense. It's a lot easier for you to blame others for your circumstances or your situations than it is for you to accept accountability and responsibility for where you are in your spiritual path. Now, the Seven of Wands really speaks about fighting for what you believe in and being passionate towards it, that you will do what is required of you, right? I feel like you might feel like some, other people are trying to take credit for the things that you've done. But I also feel like you're not really fighting for yourself here. And I feel like you're constantly fighting a battle inwardly. And it's very reflective in your outer experiences. And I feel that this is very exhausting for you, but you have to learn to stand your ground. You have to learn to stand in your strength and stand in your power here, Pile One. So let's move a little bit further. Okay, so we have follow your dreams. Love this. So this is really about asking yourself, what is it that you ultimately want to experience? What is it that you ultimately want to have here, Pile One? Because those are the choices that you need to be making. You need to be making choices that are aligning you to your higher truth, to your true north, so that you can ultimately follow your dreams. Because that is ultimately what is going to take you to the next level. So now we have magic happens when you most expect it. Look at this. Okay, then you have stop, drop, and ground. And then you have make a mission statement for your soul. Okay, I'm going to read you what it says in the book for these cards, because I believe that the book is going to be able to give you a better definition than I ever will. And I think that this is utterly amazing. I feel that right here with the magic happens when you most expect it, it's really wanting you to understand that when you ask for it, let it go. Don't try to control it. Don't try to force it to happen. Just let it happen naturally, organically, the way that it's meant to, okay? Magic happens when you most expect it. In a life full of structure and rules and the oh so very unmagical excuse of coincidence, one needs to expect magic to happen in order to prime the pump and bring it in. Actually, one needs to be actively waiting and watching for it. Magic and serendipity show up in your life all the time, yet they are often missed when they surface in ways that we least expect them to. It's time to call things into being by setting an intention, taking action on that intention, and expecting it to work. Watch for proof that it's coming to you and prepare for a few, oh my goodness, holy crap, it's working moments. When offers, opportunities, experiences, freebies, and all the guiding help you need begin to show up. This is about you awakening to the miracles in your everyday life here, Pile One. Now let's look at stop, drop, and ground. How long has it been since you gave yourself a moment to pause, just for the joy of it? If you've been caught up in the hustle or feeling anxious or stressed about the future, it's time for a pause. Full stop. It's time to ground yourself with self-love. Drop onto your yoga mat, drop in on a movie night with family, or drop into laughter with your besties. Seriously, your soul is asking for this. And while stopping and dropping can feel drastic, especially if you've been on the hamster wheel of busy for a while, it's also perfect medicine for resetting and realigning your goals with the path that you are on. So, pile one, what Spirit is wanting you to understand is that if you are doubting where you are in your path right now, and you're constantly resisting it and you're fighting it here with the Seven of Wands, I want you to understand that this means it's time for you to really do things that align you with happy. Remember, we discussed that. What are you doing? What actions, what choices, what decisions are you making that align you to fulfillment and joy and blissful happiness? Those are the things that you ultimately need to do. Let's move on now to make a mission statement for your soul. Let go of that big overreaching life purpose thing and make a mission statement for your soul, whatever that looks like today. Don't get tricked into spending a lifetime trying to pinpoint the perfect be-all and end-all goal. Simply move toward what makes your heart happy, and you will be perfectly poised for soul purpose success. Sacred tasks aren't always logical or rational, and they are certainly not going to fit squarely into an old school template or life plan. They come from Spirit. You will recognize them by how propelled and inspired they make you feel. If you feel any anxiety for not having created your path yet, that's because you already know that you are meant to do something greater in the world. The beauty here is that you can start anytime. So ask yourself, pile one, what is my sacred why? When you can align with your sacred why, that is what is going to propel you forward. And this is beautiful. So let's dig a little bit deeper, shall we? So here we have boundaries. Okay, this is about sticking to boundaries and doing what is best for you. Again, this is about not looking at what others are doing and how others are experiencing their life. This is about doing you, being authentically, truly aligned to you, okay? Next, we have higher calling. Yes, you have a higher purpose here, pile one. You need to align to that purpose. What is your sacred why? And then answer the call of your soul. What is your soul ultimately wanting to be fulfilled with? What is it that brings you joy? What is it that makes you ultimately happy? Okay. Next, we have rest and reset. Again, this is about making time to rest and to give your body and mind a break. This is about a pause. This is about remembering that when you feel anxious or you feel like you're unsure of what to do, this is when you take a rest. This is when you take a pause, a break, to truly realign yourself with the higher purpose, the higher calling. Okay. Next, we have self-love. I love this. This is about understanding that you have to give yourself love. You have to be willing to fill your own cup here. With self-love, it says you are made in the essence of love. You are worthy of love. So give yourself love. This is giving yourself love in everyday experiences, whether this is truly aligning you to, your purpose, and it's really you giving yourself the things that you're not really getting from other people. Now, your last card here is Ally in Disguise, and it says, discover the hard to find blessing. Now, this is from the deck called The Hero's Journey, and I'm going to read you what it says in the book. Now, I particularly chose this card for this particular pick a card because our soul's journey is a lot like the hero's journey. And I feel that in our journey, we often need reminders, right? So this is your reminder. So here's, I apologize. Here's what it says. As you advance along your hero's dream journey, prepare to encounter all types of people and circumstances. There will be those who start off as allies but turn out to be otherwise. There will be those you judge as enemies who become the greatest instigators of your spiritual growth. If you know in advance that even the enemies you encounter are allies in disguise, you can relax. So relax, as there really is no such thing as a true enemy. When you reflect on your life, you will realize the most difficult challenges taught you the most valuable lessons and have made you more resourceful and resilient than you would otherwise be. Revel in the reality that you are who you are today, precisely because of the challenges that you have faced and aced. So your mantra here, Pile 1, is, I revel in the blessings discovered in the most unlikely people and places. This is a beautiful message for you, Pile 1. We started out with blame, and I felt like you were really blaming certain individuals or certain circumstances or experiences on why you are where you are or why your life has turned out the way that you are. And you're really needing to look at those as a blessing in disguise. They are your allies. So Pile 1, this is your message. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your pick a card on what you need to know about your soul journey. So we are going to go ahead and move your tarot cards out of the way, and we are going to start with your oracle cards. So starting off here, Pile 2, we have empathy. Now, I feel that where you are in your spirit journey, in your soul journey, is that you are needing to be a little bit more empathetic. So this is almost as if you are having experiences or witnessing experiences where you're needing to see two sides or various sides of a particular situation. Now, the message here with empathy is, I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. So this means that it's not about choosing sides. It's not about who's right or who's wrong, or there's a good side and a bad side. This is really about being open to all perspectives, all aspects of a situation, so that you could see with clarity, deeper understanding, and see the bigger picture that is currently going on here, Pile 2. And this can be very difficult. It can be challenging, especially when we are very attached emotionally to what is going on. Even if it's happening, maybe not with us or with someone that we are ultimately really close to, it can be very difficult to see all aspects or all sides of a situation. It's not that we're giving people an excuse for how they react or how they respond in a situation. It's really about seeing the bigger picture, having a deeper sense of understanding, seeing it with clarity and no judgment attached to it, okay? Next, we have take a moment. And I love this because what this is saying is stop. Now is not the time to rush into the decision you're about to make. Before this important decision is made, take a moment to pause and quiet your mind so that you can ask your soul for guidance before you act or move forward. This is key and very important here, Pile 2, because this doesn't want you to rush into making an arbitrary decision or judgment without truly seeing the bigger picture. And I feel that this is the most important thing here, because I think a lot of times we tend to just really rush into a decision, or we take a stance in a certain particular way because we feel so passionately about it, or we just automatically want to place judgment. This is very important, okay? Because I think a lot of times we come from a place of it's almost like we come from a place of being wounded, right? We come from a place of really only seeing a certain side or from a certain perspective, and we're not really seeing the whole situation. This is the reason why I I always try to keep in mind whenever there's an argument going on in the midst of my family, and I have one person calls me and is giving me their side of the story, and then the other person involved is calling me and giving me their side of the story. And I always try to take everything like a grain of salt. And I remind myself that there are always 3 sides to every story. Every person has their own perspective of what transpired, and they're basing that off of their own limited beliefs and experiences that they have encountered. And then there is the perspective from a non-judgmental, higher perspective of what actually transpired. And that's ultimately what you are being asked to do here. Wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are being asked to take a pause, to not make any rash decisions at this moment, and really be open to seeing all aspects, all sides of whatever situation is going on. So moving forward, we have no place like home and truth be told. Okay, this is very interesting because no place like home is really speaks a lot about our authenticity. It speaks a lot about what feels right for us, not necessarily what feels right for others. Because again, this is really about remembering that we are being open to all sides, right? We're being empathetic. We're not really choosing a side. We're not saying that someone was right and someone was wrong. No place like home is really about the authenticity. It's about coming home to yourself. And it's about, feeling at home with yourself, where you are in the situation that you're in. Now, if this is a situation that is going on that you yourself are involved in, what this is really saying here, PileTwo, is that you need to not really listen or take the opinions of what everyone else is saying around you. You really need to just listen inwardly to yourself. Really listen to what your spirit is ultimately telling you in this situation. Because that is ultimately where the truth lies, right? Even if we don't want to face that, we have to really be comfortable. We feel more at home. We feel more safe. We feel a lot more comfortable when we are in our own skin and we know that that feels right. It feels like home to us. So in this particular situation, what it's really saying is it doesn't really want you to make any decisions that doesn't feel safe or secure to you. It doesn't want you to make any decisions or choices or jump to conclusions that does not feel like it fits right in your skin. Okay? Now, with truth be told here, truth be told is one of those cards that really speaks about honesty, okay? It speaks about accepting things at face value. It's about seeing things as they are and not really expecting them to be something that they're not, okay? I feel with truth be told, you really have to sort of come out of any denial. You have to be open to seeing things exactly as they are. Or as what I like to say, it is what it is. You cannot change it or expect it to be something that it is not. And I feel that in this particular situation, I feel that your higher self, your intuition is already telling you exactly what you have been asking. You already know what the answer is, but I feel that you're too afraid at this point to really do what is required of you. And I feel that that is where the challenge lies. Now, it's interesting because the no place like home is a number 50, which is a 5. And then the truth be told is a 14, which reduces to a 5. 5s are all about change, but it's also about freedom. And I feel that word right there, PileTwo, is your word, for this week or this month when you are listening to this. Freedom. I think it's time that you set yourself free from whatever limitations, whatever illusions that you have placed on yourself that no longer serve you in your journey. And if this is an argument that happened between people that you are in the middle of, this is where you're needing to be more in alignment, more authentically who you are, and be willing to align yourself with that. Okay? This is about being very clear. Very clear. I feel like you are already very clear about what you need to do, but I feel like you're waiting for the right sign, the right message. This is your message. You already know what you need to do here, PileTwo. It's just a matter of you being willing to align yourself to that authentic self of who you are and do what is best for you. Okay? Now, next we have effort. Now, this is interesting because I feel like maybe this is a situation that there has been a lot of effort in one way or another, and now you feel like there has to be more. But I want to ask you, is the effort that you are putting into this situation beneficial to you? Is it helping you in some way? What are you getting out of it? Is it really helping you feel like it's you? Or is it making you feel trapped? Is it making you feel like you can't breathe, right? Because remember, your key word here is freedom. So whatever effort that you put into this situation, it has to align you with freedom. Okay? So next we have Soul on Fire, Prosperity's Sisters are Happiness and Joy, and look at that, Changes. Now I'm going to read you what it says in the book for these cards, because it is going to be able to give you a much better message. And I want you to be able to truly take home with you today here, PileTwo, the actual message. So Soul on Fire says, fearlessly pursue that which sets your soul ablaze. Soul on Fire is an exhilarating state. It's impulsive. It's catchy. It's in the one tunnel vision option that lies ahead of you that you absolutely cannot stop thinking about. It's passionately obsessive and thrilling, and it's always filled with warm spirals of escalating energy. What do you see when you look at your tomorrow? Does it reverberate excitement? Is there fire energy there? If there isn't, you may be running after empty substitutes for your dream, and it's time you find true zest for your journey. When you make the decision to expand your life this way, the shift can happen quickly. Souls ablaze are magnetic and have a way of making huge changes in short spurts. So again, what I find very interesting here is that you have two cards here that really speak about joy and happiness and really being very passionate towards those things. And I feel that it's important for you here, PileTwo, to recognize that that is what you need to align with. Now, Prosperity's Sisters and Our Happiness and Joy says, sisters, brothers, siblinghood. Are you tapping into it? Have you found your place in a supportive community of like-minded explorers? Are you having face-to-face interactions with souls that make you a better person and wish people who help you share your gifts? Find a community of cheerleaders who will help lift you up and launch you out. Right now, doubling up on your exposure to other people's positivity out online and in person will quintuple your results. You may be underestimating the power of connection on the journey. Do it for the friendship. do it for the experimentation. Take logic out of the equation and do it for the sheer joy of just being with high vibration peeps. So what this is ultimately saying, and I'm kind of getting an idea already here, PileTwo, that this is ultimately about letting go of individuals in your life who might be actually sucking the life out of you, who might actually be making you feel very restricted and bound. And this is what needs to change. You're needing to let go of these old relationships that are no longer making you feel like home. They're no longer in alignment with the path that you are on. And sometimes making this big change can be very daunting and it can feel quite challenging and hard. But you need to align yourself. In order for you to truly be on the path of where you are going and aligning with individuals that match that vibration or frequency, you have to let go of the lower vibrational frequency. You have to let that go, because that is ultimately what you are needing to do. You're needing to let go of the individuals that are basically sort of making you, making your life miserable. And it's hard for you to see clearly, and it's hard for you to get the messages that you need in order to be in alignment on the path. Next, with changes, you have your miracle is coming to you through a change that has already begun. Everything is about to shift, and you are at the right place at the right time. As the wheel of fortune turns, it brings with it some significant blessings. Aren't you ready to breathe in some positive change? You may already find yourself in the midst of this lucky vortex. And if so, you are being gifted an incredible opportunity to reach out and grab your success. Don't be afraid to step into something new and to welcome self-improvement and challenge as you say yes to novel experiences. Your current situation is a little bit too small for your big, badass future. So prepare to amp it up a notch. I love this, PileTwo, because this is ultimately reminding you. It is reminding you of your potential, of what you have to offer. So let's go ahead and dig into your tarot here. Okay, so we are going to get, so we are starting off with the Page of Swords. Yes. So I feel that right now you are at a much higher level than the people that you have currently surrounded yourself with. And this is you really needing to align to really needing to align to that. Yep, look at there. Okay. Okay. All right, PileTwo. So we're going to start off right away with the center, which is the Devil card. So I really feel that whatever situation that you're in your path right now here, PileTwo, you feel very bound. You might actually feel manipulated a little bit. You might feel like someone else is pulling the strings and you feel like you just really aren't able to have the control that you ultimately want. And I feel that you've learned this about this person or persons, and there's a part of you that wants to see them in a different light. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt. You also want to show them love, and you want them to be able to change the way that they act or the things that they do. But the reality is that I feel a part of you already knows that they are who they are, and you cannot expect them to be any different than what they already are. Remember, it is what it is. They are who they are. And if they're going to change, that has to be on their terms, not yours. And so I feel in this perspective, you know, you have a big heart. You have so much empathy, and you want to be able to love them and nurture them back to who they were or who you remembered them to be. But the reality is that that isn't who they are. They've actually shown their true colors. They've shown their true face. And now it's time for you to truly come to terms with that and see beyond the veil, see behind what's currently being distorted for you, the illusion, and choose to take a different path. Choose to find success and stability in another place, in other relationships. The Knight of Wands is really that fierce action about, aligning yourself with the things that make you happy, that bring you joy, that put you in more alignment with who you truly are here, PileTwo. And I feel that this is ultimately what you're needing to recognize and align yourself to. The situation is what it is. You cannot change it. You have to accept it for what it is and just allow yourself to move on, because it isn't going to be anything other than what it already is. Okay? I just can't. I just feel like you need to understand that. You need to understand that a zebra cannot change its stripes. It is what it is. No matter how much you try to cover it up, no matter how many masks you put on, it is what it is. A zebra is a zebra. So I feel you have to sort of hear that here, PileTwo. So moving on, we have power. Look at this. So this is wanting you to know that you are more powerful than you believe. And this is really about you owning that power and standing in your power. Your power is your intuition. Your power is being connected to that authentic self, to that higher version of you that knows the truth. And it's really about you aligning to that truth. Next, we have divine love. Now, I can already tell you this is about certain specific relationships. Divine love is all about soulmates. It's about contracts, and it's about understanding that we come into life creating soul contracts with individuals. And these soul contracts have to be fulfilled. They're fulfilled in an aspect that they are helping you become who you are. So we may not understand it in the moment that we are going through it, but we understand it later. Later on in our path, we will have a much clearer understanding of why that certain individual came into our life and why things transpired the way that they did in order for us to become who we are in that moment and in that time. Because we ultimately see the bigger picture the further along our path that we go. Next, we have sanctuary. Now, this is important because this is about you creating a space where you can feel present and connected to source and to spirit and to yourself. Because again, you got no place like home. So this is about you being connected to your authenticity here, PileTwo, and making sure that you create a space where no one else will be able to take that from you. It is a space that is all your own, and it is a space that makes you you and makes you feel connected to you. Next, you have the golden light. Now, I love this because the golden light is all about protection. And I want you to understand that the golden light is basically, it is a part of you, it is a part of your essence. And it is connected to you and to everything around you. So whenever you feel like you need that instant clarity or that instant connection to divine source, you call on the higher realms with the golden light. The golden light is that divine protection of God source energy, and it is connected with everything. And so when you need that sense of assurity or that sense of clarity, you call in the golden light. Now, your last card comes from the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle. And I really want you to know that for you here, PileTwo, you need to remind yourself, I want you to envision the movie The Wizard of Oz, and how at the end of the movie, Dorothy clicks her heels and says 3 times, "There is no place like home. There is no place like home." Because your message from the hero's journey is there's no place like home. I can't make this up, PileTwo. I literally can't. Now, I want you to remember that when you are seeking for clarity, when you are seeking for truth, when you are seeking for the next steps, all you need to do is connect to divine source and yourself, because there is no place like home other than you. So let's read what it says in the book here. Snuggle into the peace, calm, and simplicity of the present moment. So many miraculous moments happen throughout each day that are worthy of drop to your knees awe. Sunsets, sunrises, the sound of your loved one's breath as they sleep, a hot shower in the morning, a cool glass of water, the ability to hug the ones you love. The list of the miracles goes on and on. On your hero's journey, you will travel far from home, if only in your mind. But you will never forget your roots and your gratitude for all which nurtures, feeds, and grounds you. Your mantra, PileTwo. I allow my senses to indulge in the nectar of gratitude for my home, sweet home. I absolutely love this mantra for you, PileTwo, because this is reminding you that you are your greatest source of love, of nurturing, and of calm. So PileTwo, this is your message. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys. Hi, PileThree. Welcome to your pick a card on what you need to know about your soul journey. So we are going to move your tarot cards out of the way here so that we can get started on your pick a card. Okay, so right off the bat, we are starting off with balance. Okay. Now, what this is saying is, the card itself says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Okay, this is very interesting. Each one of the piles so far has really been very informative right at the start of where you are on your soul journey and what you need to know. And I feel for you here, PileThree, this is really about you needing to find time to balance. Now, this could mean that there is a situation or a circumstance, something that has transpired where you currently are in your path, where you're needing to really just sort of bring in some harmony. And you're probably needing to take a pause, a little bit of a break here before you move to the next step or the next phase of whatever it is that you are currently facing. I feel that it's also important that you not take sides. Now, I said the same thing here in pile 2, so I'm going to tell you that if you were drawn to pile 2 as well as pile 3, you're probably going to want to go listen to pile 2, okay? So, balance. Kind of what I'm picking up is that there is a lot of chaotic hustle and bustle. I'm picking up a lot of just fast movement, things sort of moving out of control, and there's just a lot of, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. So it's causing a lot of stress and anxiety on you, because that's sort of what I'm picking up here. And I feel that what you're really needing to do is just to take a breather, take a stop, take a pause at the moment, and just try to find balance. And I feel what that is just to try to find a sense of calm in the chaos that is currently going on. So your next message is, look at this, find your center. And we literally just talked about this. Now, the card says your outside world is a reflection and a manifestation of what's going on inside you at this time. When the outside world becomes so hectic and stressful that your anxiety starts to overwhelm you, then this is an ideal moment to stop and ask, when was the last time I checked in with myself? Again, I think I said this already here, PileThree, where there's just so much energy and chaos going on in your life right now that you're not really stopping to check in with yourself to really find that balance and find that sense of calm and really bring that forward. And I feel that where you are in your soul path is your spirit team is really trying to get you to check in with yourself, to really sort of ease that sense of anxiety and stress that's just flooding through your system and your body and causing a lot of havoc on your body, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And you're needing to find balance and harmony and sort of relax those rivers or those streams of stress and anxiety flowing through you. Next, we have thinker. So you're overthinking, and chop wood. Okay, so with thinker, I feel that whatever situation transpired that sort of put you in this state of, chaos, I feel that it has put you in a mode of really being very analytical. It's like you're trying to find a solution or a way out of the situation that you're in, or you're trying to find a sense of, I don't want to say calm, but you're just trying to find a strategy. So it's really about being logical and analytical. You're trying to think it, but I really feel that that might not be the solution right now. I don't know why. Now this card really wants you to focus on things in a very logical perspective, but I really don't feel that that's what this is really trying to tell you. I think that what it's trying to tell you is that you're overthinking, you're overanalyzing, and that is what is causing a lot of the anxiety and the stress that is currently going on in your life right now and where you are. And I feel that what they're really wanting you to do is really focus in on things that help you more in alignment with your everyday situation, okay? Like, it's almost like you're needing to focus on little things and not focus on the big things. And it's almost like they're wanting you to be more connected and more grounded to your sense of self, so that you can fully check in with yourself and check in with your body so that you know exactly where you are. Because when you're in high anxiety, you're really worrying about things that don't even exist. And that's what overanalyzing and overthinking often does to you. It causes you to stress about things that haven't even happened yet. And I feel like you're needing to really come back down to earth. You're needing to come back down to the present moment and really ground yourself in your everyday activities and only focus on the things that are in front of you. Okay? Because I don't feel that you, I just don't feel that you stressing out about what has yet to be or what hasn't even happened or occurred yet is even worthwhile for you. Okay. Now let's look in at chop wood, because chop wood really talks about being grounded, and it talks about being grounded in your everyday experience, and it talks about, you really being connected. Okay. I feel that when you are truly connected to your everyday experiences, you tend to clearly be more present and aware of what is actually going on, right? Instead of being in your head all of the time and focusing on things that haven't happened, or you allow your mind to be a little bit more extra and you over exaggerate that thinking, and then you start worrying about things that you have absolutely no control over because it hasn't happened yet, right? And so I feel that when you can chop wood, when you can sweep the floor, when you can wash the dishes, when you can focus on one thing at a time that you are doing in the present moment, it helps you become more aware of the blessings that are there, of the signs that are ever present in your everyday experience. Now, what it says in the book for Chop Wood, it says, there are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it to nature to take its course is an important step in manifestation. I feel that when you can focus on the things in your everyday experiences that allows you to be more grounded here, PileThree, it sort of opens up the doorway for your intuition to really give you those key aha moments that you ultimately need to connect what is going on and what the next step is in your soul journey and what's coming up for you. I feel that right now there's just so much going on that it's really hard for you to feel connected. So your next card, which does not surprise me, is nature. So I feel that in order for you to truly feel connected to source and to feel connected to that higher aspect of yourself, you need to really make time for yourself to be out in nature. I feel that maybe having nature walks is going to be the best thing for you, because what I'm sort of envisioning right here is that you going on a nature walk and really allowing your eyes to feast on the beautiful things that you see along your walk. You know, whether you see the blooms that, the flower blooms that are blooming at this time, or the new growth of a plant that is emerging from the ground, the birds as they fly above the sky, and all of the little things that we often take for granted that sort of, you know, sort of keep us from really focusing on what's important. I think ultimately and I just keep getting this because I keep feeling like I just want to keep going up into my head. I keep want to think about all of the situations that are happening in my life. You know, what I have to do when I get back to the office. You know, what am I going to do about this situation with my aunt? Or, you know, it's all of these things that are keeping you flooded, and it's not leaving the pathway clear or open for you to receive the signs and the messages that you have been asking Spirit for. I think that everything in your head right now is so clouded and so overwhelmed that there is no room for Spirit or for you to even connect with that higher aspect of yourself that will give you the answers that you have been seeking. So let's go ahead and dive right into the tarot here, because I feel this is going to be a very important place for you here, PileThree. So we are starting out with the King of Pentacles, with the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, the Nine of Cups. Okay, I can already see where this is going. The Hierophant, and your last card is the Two of Wands. Okay, so PileThree. When we start in the middle here, we're starting with the Nine of Cups. And I feel that ultimately what you are desiring is you are desiring fulfillment. You're wanting to feel fulfilled in your life. You're wanting to feel like things matter. You're wanting to, you know, be happy with the things that you have accomplished. But I don't feel that you actually get to experience that. And the reason for that is because I feel like you're constantly working. It's like you complete one thing and then you move on to the next. So you never really take time to truly appreciate that which you have done. And the King of Pentacles is one of these that it's all about the assets. And I feel like I don't know exactly what it is that you are expecting here, PileThree, whether you're expecting, you know, some form of accomplishment to be so grand and spectacular that it stands out to you. But what I want you to understand is that if you cannot appreciate the little things in the things that you have accomplished, then when that big thing actually shows up, you're going to completely miss it. You're not even going to acknowledge it. Because I kind of feel like you have this thing here where it's like, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And maybe this is a running theme in your life here, PileThree, that maybe you have this limiting belief where you're just not good enough. The things that you have done are not good enough to meet your expectation or your satisfaction. And so therefore, you don't pay them any mind because it's the reason why it's like you're wanting more. You're wanting more and you're wanting more. And the King of Pentacles is very, I feel like, is very grounded in their ethic of assets. But I feel that you're very consistent in your efforts, but I feel a lot of times that consistency or lack of movement or taking action can actually hinder you from truly appreciating the things that you have. Like it prevents you from being grateful in a sense, right? And I feel that what you're needing to do here with the Hierophant is really evaluate, your beliefs, your limiting beliefs. What are the things that you really ultimately believe about your successes, about the things that you've accomplished? What lessons are you learning? What lessons do you need to elevate towards, right? Because I feel like if you can't truly appreciate the small things, you're going to completely miss the big things here. And I feel that ultimately you're just wanting to feel a sense of fulfillment. You're wanting to feel accomplished and appreciated. But I don't even think that you appreciate your efforts. And I think this is where we struggle, right? Because then when we are truly trying to focus on the things that we're wanting to accomplish, like our dreams, we miss all of the important signs. Lastly, with the Two of Wands here, this is you needing to decide. You need to decide which course you're going to take and recognize that where you are right now is not where you want to be. And I feel that you understand that, PileThree. You understand that where you are right now is not where you want to be. You want to be somewhere else. You want to have a different experience. You want to be able to be fulfilled in a lot of ways. But that means that you're going to have to take a risk and you're going to have to choose a different path, right? And that means that you have to choose you. You have to choose that higher aspect. This is why balance is so important for you. You have to be willing to balance out the different frequencies or vibrations that are coming in to your everyday experiences and align yourself with the things that you do have, that you are grateful for. Stop worrying about the future. Focus on the now. And I think this is the reason why you got chopped wood, because if you can focus on the things that you are working on right now, the amount of gratitude and appreciation that you have for those experiences and for those things will ultimately give you a greater sense of gratitude for the things that will ultimately come in the future. Okay? Remember, manifestation is all about our beliefs, and it is about our feelings. And if you are not aligning with the right vibration, then you're not going to be attracting the right things. So I feel this is important for you here. So next we have ambush fear with your ferocious dream. The edge of evolution feels messy, and get back to elemental. Okay, I'm going to read you what it says in the books for these, because I feel that it's going to give you a better message than I will. So starting off with ambush fear with your ferocious dream, it says, your fear is an indicator that you are brave enough to challenge the status quo. It is normal to experience fear on the road to success. Every successful creator on the planet has had myriad moments when they were worried that their idea may not work. Learn to manage your self-doubt and do it anyway. Tell fear to move out of the way and know that your prosperity will come when you are courageous enough to follow your own light down your own path. Innovation always coexists with vulnerability, so allow them to live inside of your dream together. You won't have all of the answers, but remember, most of the time, the unknown is not nearly as terrible as you could imagine it to be. Sometimes your big fear will actually be as tiny as the field mouse that blocks the elephant's path. So really think about that. Really ask yourself, what is it that you're truly afraid of in this new path? What is it that you're really afraid to let go of? Remember, constantly having that state of anxiety and flow in your system just sort of creates this big mess. And that moves us on to number 40, which is the edge of evolution feels messy. So here's what it says. The edge of change is a veritable cornucopia of opportunity. When you think life is a giant, ever-expanding puzzle, you will see that growth begins at the edges and that most of the excitement happens just beyond the boundaries of what you can perceive, and it happens just beyond the edges of your comfort zone. As things shift and germinate around you, you may notice how uncertain it feels beyond the known. It's time to bring yourself to your personal growth edge to look into that abyss of creation. Poke your toe into the open space that lies beyond, and the right opportunity will, as if by magic, move into your awareness. This magical changing expanse is surging with the building blocks of all creation. This is where source energy is working on your behalf, bringing you the opportunities you have asked for. Everything and anything is possible during this time of rapid transformation. And as you stand at the precipice of your beautiful evolution, know that this energy is organic and malleable. Begin directing the landscapes of your reality that are coming into form. Beautiful. Now, pile 3. I really feel, again, what it's wanting you to do is really focus on your everyday experiences. Get out of your head, out of your future, and get into your present moment. Now, get back to elemental. Here's what it says. The elements in most magic circles are earth, fire, air, water, and spirit. And these elements create all matter and life. It's time to break things down into their simplest elements and to get back to your roots. What are the basics of what you're building? If you're a seasoned creator, what was your original plan or your original dream? There's a likelihood that you've grown since you began your journey, and it may be time to shift your plans so that they make more sense for you now. Get back to the basics of exploring the world like a child and seeing things anew. Fresh eyes will offer you a fresh perspective. And when you break things down into their most basic parts, you can put them back together again in novel ways. Take another look at what you're already doing and what you've already done, and take special notice of the magic that you already have access to. It may be time to cut any extra drama, networking, and extracurriculars that aren't 100% aligned with your basics, and call in the elements as you get back to your own kind of elemental. What quintessential desire runs through everything that you do, and what always remains the same? So again, I feel that you are being called here, PileTwo, to take a different course, take a different path. And this just proves that you have to do that. You have to conquer your own fear, your own doubt. You have to get out of your head and get back into your everyday experience. Go back to the basics, because that is where you will be able to truly evolve, right? And it's really about, the path that you are on is clearly a very comfortable place for you. But again, it isn't where you want to be, Because in order for you to become who you want to become and have that sense of fulfillment that you are desiring here, pile 3, you have to get out of that comfort zone. You have to change the path. So let's move a little bit further. So we have awareness here. So this is about paying attention and listening to the signs because they're everywhere. I feel that your spirit team has really been giving you these signs and these messages, which is why you're here. So again, really be aware of what your spirit team is really communicating to you. Next, we have relationships. This is about you making sure that you are building loving relationships with like-minded individuals. Again, it's about understanding how you are coming about in your path, okay? Then you have completion. Okay, this is about celebrating your successful completion and keep moving forward. You have got to celebrate your successes, even the little ones, even the little ones. This is so important because, again, there are beautiful things that you have already created here, pile 3, that you are not giving enough credit to. And there's things that you've learned in going through that experience that you can ultimately bring with you on the path. And next you have follow your heart. Do what you love and follow your instincts. This is all about aligning yourself to you, to that authenticity of you, and to finding the balance and the harmony in your everyday life so that you can experience the things that you ultimately want to experience. So last but not least here, pile 3, your last card is coming from the Hero's Journey Oracle deck. And you got number 27, flip it upside down, which is about question your beliefs. I feel that this is going to be important for you because you have to be able to question the things that you believed in order to move past certain limitations in order to continue on this path that you are on. So here's what it says in the book. What's true in the ordinary world is flipped on its head in the extraordinary world of dreams and the heroic life of magic and miracles. In ordinary life, it's instinctual to run from things that scare you, but when you face those fears in a dream, you increase your personal power. In dreams, the tragedy of fire, flood, and destruction can symbolize rapid growth and new birth. If you get stuck in black and white thinking, all you have to do is flip yourself upside down, literally or figuratively, to see the world from a dream's perspective. When the sky becomes the ground and the ground becomes the sky, you realize you have the freedom and the ability to flip reality on its head. No matter how rigid the belief or experience, it's just waiting for you to turn it around. It's all his fault becomes, it's all my responsibility. And she doesn't love me transforms into, I am loved more than I could ever perceive. Your mantra here, pile 3, is, when a problem comes along, I must flip it. When I'm upside down, I'm right side up. I feel the important message here for you, pile 3, is that because you tend to gravitate more towards the logical and the analytical, and you tend to overanalyze and overthink all the time, you need to flip it. And flipping it for you is truly connecting with your emotions and your intuition. When you connect to your heart, that ultimately and automatically aligns you to your divine essence, to divine source. And that is where you will find the greatest experience of your life. Pile 3, this is going to be your message. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys. Hi, Pile 4. Welcome to your pick a card on what you need to know about your soul journey. So we are going to go ahead and move your tarot cards off to the side here, and we are going to go ahead and get started with your first card. So we are starting off with discipline here, Pile 4, and it says, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. I feel that where you are in your spiritual journey here, Pile 4, is that you are needing to find a little bit more discipline in your everyday life, as well as more focus. You need to focus on your goals, on your dreams, on the things that you are ultimately wanting to create or to have in your life. I feel that maybe you have already made a request to the universe or to your spirit team about what it is that you are ultimately wanting to manifest in your future life, but you are not disciplined. You're not taking disciplined action. You are not being consistent in your efforts into making that become a reality here. So next we have receive. And I love this because what it's saying is you are a kind and loving soul who constantly reaches out and gives to others. But now it's time for you to learn how to graciously receive. Just as with the ebb and flow of the tides, the art of giving and receiving is the natural law and order of the universe. So this is interesting because receive coming in with a message of discipline. So what does this actually mean for you here, Pile 4? So what this means is that when you are disciplined and focused on the things that you are ultimately wanting to create or to manifest in your everyday experience, you also have to be open to how the universe gives that to you. Because when they're giving it to you, it might not look the way that you want it to look. It might not be what you expected it to be. But again, you have to be open to receiving how it unfolds. And the reason for that is we have to sort of be very clear and precise about what it is exactly that we're wanting. We might say that we want a brand new car, but if we're not specific about what a brand new car, what kind of brand new car it is, then when we receive a brand new car, we might actually dismiss that and be like, that's not what I asked for. But again, were we disciplined enough to be very specific about what it is that we are trying to achieve? Again, I feel this is really about focusing your mind and your intentions on your desires, about what it is that you are ultimately wanting to have and create in your life. I feel it's also important for you, and this could be that maybe you have this sort of mantra that you have in your mind that says, you know, well, these are all of the things that I want, but it just never works out for me, right? So again, you're not open to receiving. You're setting limitations for yourself as to what you can actually have instead of being open to limitless potentials and opportunities and experiences, right? So your next message is serendipity and clean it up. Okay, I think this is very simple here. Serendipity talks about, you know, all of the serendipitous events, all of the, what we call coincidences, right? But it's all about, you know, luck and luck being on your side and opportunity making its way to you. But you have to be open to those opportunities. You have to be aware of those synchronistic moments as they occur, and recognize them as, you know, the magical alignments that they are. Okay. And again, this goes alongside with receiving. If you're not open to receiving, then you're going to miss all of the signs. You're going to miss all of the synchronicities. You're going to miss all of the magical alignments, right? So I feel that with clean it up, what this is saying is you've got to clean up your limiting beliefs. You have to clean up what you have going on mentally in your mind. Maybe clean up your surroundings. Maybe you're holding on to things in your, you know, in your home or in your work life, in your relationships that basically need to be cleaned out. What I'm hearing is you got to clean house. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to clean your house physically. Maybe for some of you it is, but what it's saying is that if you're wanting to have certain things, you have to make room for them. And what that means is that, you know, you can't just continuously bring in things and not get rid of other things, right? You have to make room for the things that you are ultimately desiring and wanting. And again, that takes discipline, right? It also takes discernment, because you have to sort of discern what is right for you and what isn't, what is in alignment with you and what is not in alignment with you. And I feel that this is where you really, need to get down to the nitty-gritty here of making sure that not only are you really looking at everything meticulously and being disciplined enough to say, yes, this is in alignment with what I'm desiring for my future. Yes, or no, this isn't, what I want anymore, right? And so you have to be willing to take action towards that in order for you to truly see the magical alignments that are coming in for you, okay? Next, you have new beginnings. And I love this, because what this is saying here, Pile 4, is that you are in your path right now, you are in a state of new beginnings. And what that means is that you're at a very prime moment right now where you can change the course of your path at any given point with discipline and determination. And I feel that you ultimately are just at a position right now where you have to make a choice. And the choice is ultimately yours. You can choose an entirely new beginning, and understand that what you've experienced in your path up until this point is in the past. We cannot go back and revisit it. There is no need for us to revisit it. It's now time for you to decide, what do I want to keep from my past and what don't I need? What is no longer in alignment with me, in order for you to make room so that you can start seeing the many blessings and opportunities that start showing up for you, and being open to receiving those blessings so that you can truly live in the manifestation of your dreams. So let's go ahead and dive right into the tarot here and see where what other additional information we can get here. So we have the Two of Cups. Love this for you. Then we have the Three of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Magician. Okay, I absolutely love this here, Pile 4. So we're going to start right in the middle here with the Six of Cups. And I feel right now you're being very nostalgic about everything that you have experienced thus far. I feel like you feel very connected to it, and you're almost afraid to let it go. It's like, notice how she keeps looking towards the past, right? She's remembering all of the good times, all of the bad times, all of the things that she experienced, right? And she's holding on to that wholeheartedly. Now, understand that everything that we experience in our path is valuable. It teaches us something, even the hard times, even the most difficult times, even the things that are most challenging and the obstacles that we face. Everything is of value, but there are certain patterns, certain beliefs, certain behaviors that we need to evaluate, that we need to then ask ourselves, is this something I need to bring with me to the future? And I think this is the reason why you got discipline, right? Because what's interesting here is that I feel that, the Two of Cups is all about a partnership. And I feel that the partnership is all about that connection that you make with, sometimes other people. But I feel that this is also a connection that you make with your higher self. I feel that you have to, establish a really good connection, that the two of you are so intertwined, so locked together, that there's no doubt on what the next step is. And that's where the union of you and your intuition sort of come into play here. I think that when you can truly align with your guidance and your intuition, it'll lead you towards the next step. It'll give you the answers of, okay, now this is what you need to do. And I feel that's what you've been needing, but you haven't developed that connection with your intuition enough for you to feel that deep, that connection. I think that's why you're missing all of the magical alignments, right? Because you're too busy focusing on what didn't go well or what transpired in the past. And so that in and of itself is really hard for you to let go of, right? So the reason why you got the message discipline is because you're needing to take a different step, a different action, a different stance. Now you're needing to be more focused on what it is you are trying to ultimately create. And it takes dedication, it takes honesty, it takes truth and consistency in order for you to build your future, to build the manifestation of your dreams. The magician is all about creation. It's about being the creator, and it's about recognizing that he has all of the tools and the resources necessary to make his vision and his dream become a reality. But it takes consistent effort. It takes action. It takes, persistence in order to make that become a reality. So here we go. Next we have overthinking can spoil the magic. Yep. Sacred mirror. Yep. And fill your cup with sacred giggles. We're going to read what it says in the book for this. And I absolutely love this for you because I feel that right away, I feel that how you can overcome where you are in your path here, Pile 4, is really truly aligning with the magic, with the intuition, with the creator within you. So overthinking can spoil the magic says, this is the trust card, the go card, the finding the courage to step out card. It is a reminder to take action when you are feeling inspired by a big idea and to use the delicious energy of new beginnings to sustain your motion as you move into the sacred flow of making it happen. It's time to allow magical beginnings to take root. There is such a thing as blocking your own magic by overthinking, and sometimes trusting in the unknown is exactly what needs to be done. Jump in with both feet, bravely, passionately, foolishly even, because when you know, you just know. Sometimes you can feel the rightness of an opportunity as it blossoms in front of you. Embrace this divine timing and the authenticity of imperfection and leap towards your destiny. As you do, expect to level up your skills in order to integrate those new lessons and new experience, because this, sweet soul, is where you learn to fly. And I love that, Pile 4. I feel that this is what you're needing. You're needing a fresh new start. Again, you got new beginnings. So we know that you are already on a new beginning path. This is about you stepping outside of that comfort zone, taking different action and different steps. So sacred mirrors. Sacred mirrors are all around you. We are connected to other souls on this planet, and every single interaction, no matter how great or how tiny, can carry a message or a meaning. Just as you can only really understand the concept of light when you've understood the concept of dark, so too can you only understand who you are when you really begin to see others. We see sameness in others. We see difference. And they offer us glimpses of our own true selves through their reflection. Look for a lesson in the coming days, a sacred mirror that will refract and reverberate throughout your being and shed light on your truest form. Sometimes mirrors serve to teach us how unique we are because of the contrasting and opposite nature they unveil. When another person thinks differently, use it to help you understand your own mind. Sometimes mirrors serve to ignite something within us that we had long forgotten. I wish that I could do that. I would love to be that brave. I desire that charisma. Is that possible for me? What have your mirrors been showing you lately? And have you been acting on the information they're sending your way? Find solutions in these sacred reflections. Next, we are going to move on to fill your cup with sacred giggles. Yup, giggles. Childlike, maybe, but there's deep magic to be trapped into here. So give them space to bubble up. You are entering a time of completion as a goal you have been working on is coming to a joyous and prosperous end. This huge accomplishment will have massive implications moving forward, and the whole world is opening up for you now. Go you. Dip your cup into the well of sacred giggles and drink up. It's time to revel in the afterglow of closure and success and know that you deserve all of the joyful prosperity that is coming your way. There is infinite potential on the horizon, so take time to do your success dance and to thank Spirit for getting you this far. This is not a time to play small and act as if it were nothing. Be proud of your accomplishments, as this is a time to say, heck yes, that was massive and I rocked it. Accept this celebratory love wholeheartedly and keep your eyes on the horizon for much more of this energy as you ascend now. So I absolutely love this for you here, Pile 4, because it's really wanting you to know that you are on the precipice of a new beginning, which means, a new beginning ultimately does mean that you have just completed a certain part of your soul journey. And now you're moving on towards the next phase of your soul journey. And this is where you need to evaluate what you're wanting to take with you, right? You're going to take everything with you, the things that you've learned, but what are you wanting to change? What are you wanting to now, work on, create in this new path? Okay. So moving on, we have, look at this, soul journey. Life is about the journey and the experiences, not the destination. I feel this is important here, Pile 4. I feel that a lot of times we get so caught up on where we're going that we forget to really, be grateful for what we've experienced in the journey, because it's all about the experiences and what we learn and what we attain from those experiences. Next, we have hope. This is about having faith that everything is going to work out in the end. And trusting in that, trusting in the process. Even if it doesn't make sense in the midst of the process, know that it is all going to work out in the end. Next, we have confidence. I love this. This is wanting you to be confident. Believe in yourself. Trust in yourself. Love yourself. Know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Next, we have rebirth. Look at this. New beginning. Let go of the old and rise into the new. Be reborn. This is literally what is transpiring with you. You are letting go of the past. You are now moving on towards who you are meant to be. And this is you needing to really and ultimately embrace it, Pile 4. And last but not least here, Pile 4, we have your last card from the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle. Your last card is stop and take in the view. Take stock of the treasures you've earned. I love this. We are going to read what it says in the book, because I feel that because you are on the precipice of a brand new journey here, you're now moving on to the next phase. It is so important that you remember everything, that you take with you that which has value. So here we go. You might notice you get stuck in strive or drive mode and forget to pause from time to time. Look around and take inventory of the blessings and treasures you've learned and earned along the way. Regular stops to take in the view are a must for sustaining steady progress over the long haul. You have accomplished a great deal, but the real test is whether you can accept the blessings that are a result of your hard work. Can you stop and be filled with appreciation for all you've accomplished thus far? It is now time to be showered with blessings, whether you are deep in the valley or on the mountain peak. Revel in the rewards of your journey thus far. Quell your worries about the false notion that a reverie will make you weak, complacent, or an egomaniac. In fact, take heart knowing that delighting in love and appreciation will give you the strength to journey further, thus multiplying the gifts you can share with others. Your mantra here, Pile 4, is there is no there. There is only here. I absolutely love this because, again, I feel like what you're needing to really focus on here is really focus on where you are right now in the moment. Be grateful, be appreciative for what you have learned thus far. And as you continue to move along the path of your soul and in your journey, be open to receiving the many wonderful blessings that come your way. Understand that they may not make sense in the moment, but they will the further along your path that you go. Be open to everything and remember that everything is about the experience and what you gain in those experiences. So, Pile 4, this is your message. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys.